Hi there, it's me again. It's Science with Erica here, and today I want to show you how to use Google Presentation to create either a digital or paper worksheet or handout of your choice. This is really useful in the classroom. I find it to be a little bit easier than Google Docs because you have a little more freedom to be creative, whereas Google Docs has some obstacles that you have to jump through when it comes to formatting. So the first thing you're going to want to do is delete the text boxes that come up when you create a new document. Then you're going to want to go to File, then Page Setup, and you want to click this drop down here and hit Custom. Now here's where you're going to choose your page size. I typically do the 8 by 11 just because that's the standard letter size and it makes printing easy. Otherwise, if you want to do a half sheet of paper or something, or like quarter sheets of paper, that's your choice. You can always make these smaller and just set up your printing so that it would print on one page and you can cut out later. But for now, I'm just going to show you how to do a regular size sheet. Go ahead and click apply, and now I have a full page of paper that I am free to use however I want. So the first thing I usually do is put a title on it. You can either do that by hitting this text box button here, or what I like to do is hit insert and hit word art. This is where you will type in what you want to label your worksheet. For me, I'm just going to use physical science as my title. So it's going to pop up like this. Just going to drag it here to the top. I don't like the outline, the black outline, so I typically go here to the border color, switch this to transparent, and then I like to choose my fill color to be something a little more vibrant, especially if I'm keeping it a digital copy, so my students can easily see the colors and it makes things a little more appealing to the eye. And hopefully, in my head, I like to think that it makes my kids more motivated to do the assignment, but you never know with middle schoolers. But so, physical science is my title. Depending on what you're making, make it big or small. Um, Another thing that I like to do when I'm creating this is I like to change the theme or background. Um, this is the same thing as Google Slides. You can change your background for each individual slides, or you can go to slide, edit theme, and if you change any of these themes right here, it'll automatically apply them to all of your future slides that you create, or in this case, worksheets. I often like to create packets for my students using Google Presentation. So I use multiple slides that are the 8 by 11 and create a packet in that way. In this case, just to show you, I'm going to create a background theme. So I hit theme here because that'll apply to all of them. Hit background. I like to choose images, and I typed in here border so that you can choose whatever border you want. I like this one. This one's pretty cool here. And done. Now that I've done that, then all of my slides, you can exit out of this, all of the slides I create are going to have that background, which is super convenient when you're creating multiple worksheets, or maybe you're just trying different styles of your worksheet to see what would work best for your students. The first one here, my title is not really fitting very well anymore, so I'm just going to shrink that. Now I got my title and my background. From here, you might want to add directions for your worksheet or different pictures and things like that. I usually go about by doing shapes because I just think that think it looks better and it is just more appealing to the eye. But also, I like the whole graphic organizer look. So you go ahead and click shape, choose whatever shape you want. My go-to favorite is the one that looks like a post-it. Most teachers use a lot of those. Click and drag. And now I have a little gray post-it right here. It looks 3D, which is kind of cool, but what I want to do is click on it and I want to make that border transparent again. So blend in a little bit, but that gray on the white is a little difficult to see. So I'm going to click on that again and choose a prettier color. Here we go. Now I got my little post-it here. If you double click on your post-it, you can actually start typing on it. So for example, if I want my directions here, um, and if you just click on that outside portion, you can change everything inside really easily. One of my favorite things to do here is if you don't want it centered on the post-it, you can again click the whole thing. You can click how you want the words to run. For example, I click that, it lines it up in the center, but also you can click these arrows to show where you want your words to be. So for example, at the top of the post-it or at the bottom of the post-it. In this case, I want it at the bottom of the post-it because something cool that I want to do next is put a thumbtack in just to make it look a little more 3D and lively. So what you want to do for that is you go to Tools, then you hit Explore, and this just pulls up basically a search engine that you can just pull directly from for your worksheets. So for me, I want to put a thumbtack, and then I always add the word transparent to the end because then it gives me JPEG images that JPEG or PNG images that can be dragged right in and it won't have any background on them. So I went ahead and searched for it. It comes up with web results, but you want images, and then you can choose your image. This one looks pretty realistic. You can see here it doesn't have that background on there, which is nice. And I'm going to go ahead and place that thumbtack at the top of my post-it. And there you go. Something else that's kind of cool is if you don't like this red color because it doesn't really match with my purple, you can click on that, hit Format Options, Recolor, and you can choose whatever color you want. For example, white looks kind of uniform. So now I got my first part of my worksheet. Maybe you want to add more pictures. So I just exited out of it, but you go to Tools, Explore, type in whatever pictures you want. Maybe you want a picture of an atom. And I'm going to make that transparent again. Go to Images, and then I have my choice of atoms here. Now, sometimes, if you're lucky, you can find actually animated pictures. I'm actually going to go ahead and try that for you. I'm not sure if this is going to work at the moment, but we'll see. So you click on whatever picture you want, and it may or may not be animated. This one is not. Let's try another one. All right. This one is not either. I'm sorry, I'm making a fool of myself here. Maybe it's if you put, oh, there we go. It was the first one that popped up. I just did not think that it was going to be the one. So you can add your little animated items onto your digital worksheet, which is really cool. Place them wherever you want. And if you make this a digital worksheet, then your students can come in here, they already see how things are moving, which is really cool. You can add another shape. Maybe you want to do an arrow or a call out. I like to do call outs. And then I can put the arrow right where I want them. And again, you just change it however you want it. And there you are. Another thing that's really cool about this is, again, you can find an image. So let's do atoms again. And you can actually make that image a link. So if you make this like a web quest or an interactive worksheet, if you click on this link and then hit this insert link button up here, just erase this and type in your website. Then when the students click on that picture, it'll take them straight to the link that you have tagged to it. Let's see here. Some other cool things that you can do with interactive worksheets or slides are you can add in videos. So if you want to click on insert video, you can search YouTube for your video. I like to use timers a lot in my class. Let's do a timer, for example. It pops up. So maybe you want to have a timer on this and have your students click it and time themselves doing a certain activity. Another one of my favorite things to do with slides is actually create a matching interactive worksheet. So how I do that is I create some shapes. And again, they can be whatever color, size, shape, whatever you want. And I just copy one and make a bunch of them. You can type your words in them. Electron. And you can type your definitions in them or whatever you want to make them match it to. I can't spell neutral over there. And don't use these two boxes. What's cool about doing this as well is you can select them all and make them completely uniform. However you want them to be. A little bit bigger. Oops. And since this border is your background, you don't have to worry about it getting moved around, which is really nice. But you can go ahead and move around your matching however you want them. I'm just going to put all the charges on one side and um, all of the vocab words on the other side. And there's two ways to do this. You can either create more boxes that they can slide the answers into, or, whoops, gotta make sure that that is ordered backwards. So if you go right click, order, send back, then it would slide right on over. Or instead of doing that, you could maybe create directions that has your students click the line button above and just match the vocab word to its definition. I find that my students like these types of activities, especially for review games. They're always asking, um, what can they do to study for the test? So I often make them little interactives like this, or otherwise, like WebQuest, I like to use Google presentation to create the links inside of it and make it look all cool and fancy. But there are so many ways that you can use this for your benefit. These are just a couple that I'm showing you. I hope you find this video useful, and hopefully we'll be creating more in the future. Bye for now.